are investigating the death of a popular social media influencer. Beauty K. Couch was found dead Wednesday in a wooded area near her home in Austell.
Yeah, so police say that Couch's body was found near her car, her burned out car. And as 11 Alive's Bobeth Yates found out, the family is asking the public to come forward to help figure out what went on here.
That's right. In just a few hours, family and friends will be coming together for a candlelight vigil to honor Beauty K after her car was found burnt in this ditch and her body in the tree line close by.
When they did this, they took half of my heart. They just don't know how they did my baby like this. How you do me? Why could you just do my baby like this? My baby didn't mean no harm to nobody.
Someone knows something and how she got left back here. They know how she got left back here. They know it. And I need for y'all to tell us because I want to know what happened to my little sister.
My baby. Her name was Beauty. Beauty can hear her out. Please, y'all, help us. Help us find who did this to my baby, y'all.
This is the story of Beauty Katera Couch, a 22-year-old social media star who was found dead near her burning car in Austell, Georgia. It is a story that forces us to confront an uncomfortable truth about social media fame. How the very platforms that can lift someone to stardom can also expose them to unforeseen dangers. In today's world, we're all chasing that perfect social media moment. The perfect angle, the perfect lighting, the perfect life. For many young people, becoming an influencer isn't just a dream, it's a viable career path. But beneath the carefully curated posts and growing follower counts lies a darker reality that we rarely discuss. The vulnerability that comes with putting your life on display. Beauty Couch understood this world better than most. At just 22, she had carved out her own unique space in the crowded landscape of social media influencers. She wasn't just another content creator, she was the skating dancer, the girl who could make roller skates look like the most natural extension of her body. With every spin, every twirl, every perfectly choreographed routine, she captured the hearts of more and more followers. Her Instagram handle, Beauty Katera, has amassed 155,000 followers. But beauty wasn't just about the numbers. She had real talent, winning local competitions and building a community around her passion. She had recently taken the next step in her journey, beginning to offer paid dance lessons. She was doing what so many dream of, turning her passion into a profession. Her mother, Kimberly Couch, would later tell reporters with pride in her voice, she loved going skating. She loved going to work. She loved her clothes. She loved wearing her hair so pretty. These simple words paint a picture not of an untouchable social media star, but of a young woman full of joy, pursuing her dreams while remaining grounded in who she was. Beauty was the kind of influencer who seemed to break through the digital barrier. Her followers didn't just double-tap her posts, they connected with her. "Never have I met you, but I've been following you for so long and I just loved you," one follower would later comment. This wasn't just about her content, it was about her authenticity, her ability to make people feel like they knew her. On Saturday, August 19th, 2023, Beauty posted what would become her final Instagram post. The photos showed her by a pool, wearing a black and red bikini. "He said I look good in red. Might as well call me Sexy Red," she wrote in the caption. It was the kind of post that had become routine for her. Playful, confident, full of life. No one could have known it would be her last. Beauty was more than just her social media presence. She was a college student, balancing her growing online fame with her education. She was a daughter who made her mother proud, a sister who lit up rooms, and a friend who, as her mother would say, never bothered nobody. She was a friend to everybody. But 4 days after that poolside post, something went terribly wrong. In the quiet suburb of Austell, Georgia, a routine fire call would lead to a discovery that would shatter her family, shock her followers, and raise disturbing questions about the dark side of social media fame. This is not just a story about a tragic crime. It's a story about dreams and their price, about the fine line between public and private life, about trust and betrayal. It's a story that forces us to ask ourselves, in our rush to share our lives with the world, are we forgetting to protect them? You're watching True Crime Stories 24/7. Thanks for joining. Please do well to subscribe and like this video to support us. On August 23rd, at 12:18 p.m., what seemed like a routine brushfire call would unravel into one of Austell's most haunting cases. The Austell Fire Department received a call about smoke rising from the area near Jerkins Boulevard and Lander Street. It was the kind of call firefighters handled dozens of times, especially during Georgia's hot summer months. But this fire would lead to a discovery that would send shockwaves through the community. When firefighters arrived at the scene, they found more than just burning brush. A vehicle was fully engulfed in flames, the heat so intense it had spread to the surrounding vegetation. After extinguishing the blaze, following standard procedure, they had the vehicle towed to a local wrecker yard. At this point, it was just another car fire. Unfortunate, but not unusual. But the story was far from over. When Austell police ran the vehicle's registration, it led them to an address that would change the trajectory of the investigation. The car belonged to the Couch family, and their daughter Beauty, they learned, hadn't been seen since Tuesday morning. The timing sent immediate red flags through the department. Beauty, a young woman with a highly active social media presence, hadn't posted or been seen for over 24 hours. What happened next would haunt even the most seasoned officers. Following their instincts, they returned to the scene where the burning car was found. In the woodline, away from where most people would look, they made a devastating discovery. There, discarded like something disposable, they found a body matching Beauty's description. The woods where Beauty was found weren't just any location. They were in her hometown of Austell, the very community where she had built her dreams, where people knew her not just as a social media star, but as the girl who would light up local skating rinks with her talent. The contrast between her vibrant online presence and the grim reality of where she was found couldn't have been more stark. Beauty's sister, Lelia Brown, would later give voice to the family's horror in a heart-wrenching interview. "My sister was found in these woods like an animal." The raw pain in her voice spoke volumes about not just the loss, but the manner of it. "I can't imagine her being in this situation at all because she's so lovable, so caring, so fun, so amazing," she continued, tears streaming down her face. "She impacted a lot of people, and she did nothing to anybody for anyone to want to do her like this." The discovery sent ripples through both the local community and Beauty's vast online following. Here was a young woman who had shared so much of her life with the world, whose last Instagram post showed her full of life and joy, now at the center of a horrifying crime scene. The contrast was jarring, almost incomprehensible. But perhaps no words captured the devastating reality more than those of her mother, Kimberly Couch. In an emotional interview that would break the hearts of viewers, she cried out, "They took my baby's last breath. Why would they do this to my baby? They took my heart away from me." The pain in her voice, the raw anguish of a mother who had lost her child in such a violent way, spoke to something universal, the nightmare of every parent. As news of Beauty's death spread, her last Instagram post became a makeshift memorial. The comments section, usually filled with compliments about her outfit or skating abilities, transformed into a space of collective mourning. Her followers, many of whom had never met her in person but felt they knew her through her content, grappled with the shocking reality that the vibrant young woman they had watched just days before was gone. The initial investigation revealed what everyone feared. This wasn't an accident. The Cobb County Police Department's statement was clear. Foul play is suspected. Those 3 words would set in motion an investigation that would cross state lines and reveal truths that no one, especially those closest to Beauty, was prepared to face. The discovery of Beauty's body raised more questions than it answered. Who would want to harm someone who, by all accounts, never bothered nobody? Why was her car burned? Was this a random act of violence or something more targeted? As investigators began their work, one thing became clear. Beneath the surface of this seemingly straightforward case lay a web of complications that would shock everyone involved. As investigators delved deeper into Beauty Couch's case, they began piecing together a puzzle that would reveal a disturbing truth. The burning car wasn't just an attempt to destroy evidence. It was a message, a signature of sorts that would eventually lead them to their prime suspect. The breakthrough in the case came when investigators started examining Beauty's closest relationships. Among them was her 21-year-old boyfriend, Eugene Louis Jacques. The same man who had likely seen her last Instagram post where she confidently posed by the pool in red. The same man who had told her she looked good in that color. The irony of those words would later send chills through everyone following the case. But Louis Jacques wasn't in Austell anymore. As investigators worked to establish a timeline of events, they discovered he had fled Georgia. This wasn't the action of an innocent man grieving the loss of his girlfriend. This was the calculated move of someone trying to evade justice. The investigation suddenly expanded beyond state lines, turning into a multi-jurisdictional manhunt. The U.S. Marshals Task Force became involved, bringing their considerable resources to bear on tracking down Louis Jacques. They had reason to believe he had fled to Louisiana, specifically to the Slidell area of St. Tammany Parish. It wasn't a random choice of location. Louis Jacques was known to frequent the area, suggesting he had connections there, perhaps people he thought would help him hide. While the manhunt intensified, investigators in Georgia were building their case. The evidence they uncovered painted a picture of premeditation. The choice of location where Beauty's body was found wasn't random, it was calculated. The burning of the car wasn't just about destroying evidence. It was about sending a message, about power and control. These weren't the actions of someone who had snapped in the heat of the moment. They were the calculated moves of someone who had thought this through. The timing of the crime added another layer of tragedy to the case. Beauty had just begun teaching dance classes and had just reached a new milestone in her career. She was expanding her influence beyond social media, touching lives in the real world, and creating a legacy that went beyond likes and followers. Her first dance class had been advertised earlier that month, a dream she would never get to fully realize. As news of the investigation spread, more details about Beauty's relationship with Louis Jacques began to surface. The questions that haunted investigators and the public alike were profound. How could someone so close to Beauty, someone who had been part of her journey, allegedly turn on her in such a violent way? What drives someone to not just take a life, but to attempt to erase all traces of it with fire? The case struck a particular chord with young social media users, many of whom saw themselves in Beauty. Here was someone who had done everything right, built a following based on genuine talent, stayed true to herself, remained connected to her community, yet still fell victim to violence. It raised uncomfortable questions about trust, about how well we really know the people in our lives, and about the vulnerabilities that come with putting yourself in the public eye. Meanwhile, in Louisiana, law enforcement was closing in. The St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Proactive Enforcement Unit had begun surveilling areas where Louis Jacques was known to appear. It was a waiting game, but one that would soon come to an end. The suspect, perhaps feeling the net tightening around him, was making mistakes, leaving traces that would lead to his eventual capture. The investigation revealed the charges that would eventually be filed: murder, arson, and aggravated assault. Each charge told part of the story: the taking of a life, the attempt to cover it up, and the violence that led to that final moment. For Beauty's family, each charge represented a piece of the justice they sought, though nothing could ever truly make up for their loss. The methodical nature of the investigation contrasted sharply with the vibrant, spontaneous life Beauty had lived. While she had danced and skated her way into people's hearts, sharing joy through her social media presence, investigators were piecing together the dark final chapter of her story through security footage, cell phone records, and witness statements. The dichotomy was stark, the light of her life against the darkness of how it ended. As the manhunt intensified in Louisiana, Eugene Louis Jacques' time on the run was coming to an end. On Friday, August 26th, just 3 days after Beauty's body was discovered, the St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Proactive Enforcement Unit made their move. Working on intelligence from the U.S. Marshals Task Force, they arrested Louis Jacques in the Slidell area. Sheriff Randy Smith's words following the arrest echoed the sentiments of two grieving communities. Let the message be that we do not take kindly to people who think they can commit a crime elsewhere and try to hide in St. Tammany Parish. His statement carried a weight beyond this single case. It was a declaration that there would be no safe harbor for those fleeing from justice. Louis Jacques was booked into the St. Tammany Parish Correctional Center as a fugitive, awaiting extradition back to Georgia where he would face the full weight of his charges: murder, arson, and aggravated assault. The legal process was just beginning, but at least Beauty's family could take some comfort in knowing that the person accused of taking their daughter's life was in custody. The impact of Beauty's death continues to reverberate through both her local community and her vast online following. Her Instagram page, once a celebration of life, talent, and joy, has become a digital memorial. The comments section of her final post, those poolside photos in red, transformed into a space of collective mourning and calls for justice. "Such a beautiful soul gone too soon," one follower wrote. "I want justice for her. Sad that people can hate so much." Another added, "Never have I met you, but I've been following you for so long and I just loved you." These weren't just comments. They were testimonies to the lives Beauty had touched through her content, her talent, and her genuine spirit. As this case moves through the justice system, it serves as a sobering reminder of several harsh truths. That social media fame, while offering opportunities, can also create vulnerabilities. That danger can sometimes come from those closest to us, and that a life full of promise can be cut short in an instant. Beauty Couch was more than just another statistic, more than just another tragic headline. She was a daughter who made her mother proud, a sister who lit up rooms with her presence, a friend who never bothered anyone, and a talented young woman who dared to chase her dreams. She was a rising star who used her platform to spread joy through dance and skating, touching lives both online and off. Her mother Kimberly's words still echo, "They took a part of my life from me. They took a part of my heart." But while they may have taken Beauty's life, they can't take away her legacy. The joy she spread, the lives she touched, the dreams she inspired. Stories like Beauty's need to be told. They remind us to stay vigilant, to cherish our loved ones, and to never take a single moment for granted. If you want to stay informed about similar cases and help keep these stories alive, make sure to subscribe to True Crime Stories 24/7. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a new upload. Your subscription helps us continue sharing these important stories and ensuring that victims like Beauty are never forgotten. Remember, behind every headline, there's a human story. Behind every statistic, there's a life that matters. Beauty Couch mattered, and her story deserves to be told. This has been True Crime Stories 24/7, bringing you the stories that need to be heard. Stay safe, stay aware, and we'll see you in the next video.